Welcome everyone, in front of me I have the Coolify 2. So this is a neck fan. It also allows you to heat yourself up as well because it has a heater here. And how good is it? How bad is it? So I've been using it for about a week, and first of all, the heat mode is really good. The cooling mode is next to useless, and the fan mode is okay if you use it in an unintentional way. So let's start off with the good stuff, the heat mode. If you have the heat mode on, this is really cool. So it's going to heat up this plate here and this plate here, and it does a really good job of what it does, right? I feel it gets warm quite quickly, and if you go to the higher heat modes, heat 2 and heat 3, it starts to get uncomfortably hot, which honestly is a good thing because when it's really cold, you want the heat. And so I'm very happy with these heat plates. I will say though, it says I think like 6 hours advertised battery life with the heat modes. I'm dropping 30% in an hour, so you get 3 hours with the first heat mode. That's alright, although there is one very big issue when it comes to the battery, which I'll discuss in a little bit. Then you have the cooler mode. So in order to switch between heat and cool, if you're wondering, you do need to press and hold this button here. Press and hold, you hear a little click, and it will either go to cool one, and if you click the switch button once, it'll go to fan one. So let's talk about the cooler mode. It's disappointing, okay? So the heat mode is great, it gets really hot. The cool mode doesn't get cool. Like, okay, it will cool down, it's going to be way better than a fan is. However, the main issue I have is that I actually use a Black Shark Fun Cooler 2 Pro. If you're wondering what that is, it's not a neck fan, it's a fan, cooler fan, but for smartphones, okay? You place it on the back of the smartphone and it's going to cool down. And it also has a plate just like this, and the plate on the Black Shark gets so cold that if you have it on the lower setting, which is less loud than this by the way, so if you have it in lower setting, it will have literal moisture and like water just pile up on the actual surface. If you set it on the max setting, it gets so cold, it gets to minus 10 degrees Celsius, and literally everything on here is frozen, okay? There's water droplets, it's all going to be frozen. This is compared to the Coolify, where on the first mode, you're not getting moisture or, water droplets show up here. In fact, it doesn't really get that cold, if I'm being honest, okay? And then the highest mode doesn't get that much cooler. This was really disappointing for me, because this was one of the main things I bought this for, was the cooling, and it's meh at best, okay? The fans, if you're in a hot environment, it's just going to blow hot air at you, so those aren't really useful either. And that is really the big downside with this. The cooler isn't great. So if we go to the fan mode here, I unironically use the fan mode. I find it pretty useful. So I don't put the fan around my neck when I'm using the fan mode. What I do is I place this area here on my chest while I'm lying down. If it's hot, it will actually do a pretty darn good job at cooling me down, even on the lowest fan mode. Although, that just comes into question, okay? It heats me up and cools me down while I'm on bed. So one, I just buy something that's cheaper that can go in my room. When you're going out and about, the cooler mode is kind of garbage. I remember when I was talking about the battery issues earlier. Well, let's go back into it. So the battery life when it comes to the cooler mode is similar, 30-ish to 33% per hour. I think it's a little bit worse than that. It's probably like 35%. So you're only going to get like 2.5 hours at best. If you use the highest cool mode, you're getting 90 minutes, okay? So that is not great. With the fan mode, it uses barely any battery. That's cool and all. I don't even think it drops 1% an hour with the fan mode. But the main issue is, this could all be a non-issue, right? If you could charge this device while using it. And this is the big issue. You cannot charge the Coolify while using it. So if you were to plug it into a charger, maybe you had a portable power bank and you just wanted to leave this on all day, they don't allow you to do that. Why? I don't know, but this is quite a big deal. If I'm out and about, have a massive power bank that I can easily switch between, and I want this on all day, I can't have it on all day, right? Maybe, I just want the heat mode on all day. Even in my house, maybe I'm next to a charger, I can't do that. So on its current state, is this worth I think it's like £169, something like that in UK? No, it really isn't. However, if the Torras team are watching this video, here are some features which would make this just the killer product, okay? So first of all, if I charge or connect a charger into this cooler fan, I want the option to power the fan without charging the battery, okay? What this would mean is all the power isn't charging the battery, okay? Instead, it's going to be used to use the fan. I also want an option, obviously, to charge the battery while using the fan at the same time, right? I don't know how you'd integrate that, probably with the second feature, a mobile app. Right now, these issues with the fan not turning on while charging, they could probably be fixed with a software update. There is no way to update the software here. What you see is what you get, right? They need to release a new product. That's an issue. A mobile app where you can control this stuff, get new software, don't force the software updates, make them optional, okay? That would be an incredible thing, because the issues that I'm describing, they could be changed by changing the power or something like that, right? And they can't be fixed right now because there needs to be a new product releasing entirely, which, let's just be real, you know, that's going to be a while because this one released a couple of months ago. That is the second thing I would like to see. The third thing is I would like to see these cooler pads actually cool down. You know, okay, it does an okay job, but I want it, just get the Black Shark Fun Cooler 2 Pro, see how it works, and just replicate that. If you had the Fun Cooler 2 Pro level of coolness here, whew, it would be incredible. On top of that, I would like the cooler mode to run without the fans turning on, because when you're in a really hot environment, the fans, they just blow warm air. It's uncomfortable, right? So it's not useful at all. I understand that, you know, you're sucking in, like, oh no, you're sucking out the heat out of the air. Okay, so you need some airflow, but can you just make, like, you know, you would have to figure that out, okay? And with all those things, what would that mean? You'd have a fan that can work all of the time. If you could power the fan without charging the battery, you don't need to worry about the battery health degrading anywhere near as much. When you're at home, you can have this on all day. Battery health is going to be great. When you need to go out, because the battery health wasn't degraded, you can have an excellent time because you weren't wearing the battery. Okay, on top of that, if you're out and about and maybe you want to charge the battery while using it, you can. You don't need to wait for the charging times because it's always going to work. If there's, you know, issues, you can always do a software update. If you actually want to be cooled down by this tool, you can use it because they're going to, you know, improve the fans. So right now, I don't recommend this. I recommend you wait for Coolify 3. Hopefully, the Torras team watches this video, implements those changes, and I'll buy it. No problems, okay? Right now, the solution really to the battery issue is buying 2 of these. That's 300 quid. I don't think it's worth it. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye-bye.